Learning AWS can be pretty overwhelming. I mean, with over 200 services available, where do you even start? Which services do you prioritize? I know this challenge firsthand. I spent months bouncing between services and never quite understanding how they all fit together. It was incredibly frustrating. But now, after a decade in tech and running my own AI cloud security consultancy, I discovered that you only need to master the core services to handle 90% of real-world scenarios. I've helped more than 500 students learn AWS Cloud with this focused approach, and many have landed roles at top tech companies, including AWS directly. So, in this video, I'm going to teach you these important AWS services that you need to master, and at the end, I'll show you how they connect together to build real solutions that solve actual business problems. If you can pay attention to this video for just 5 minutes, you will have permanent job security, starting with networking because, well, everything in AWS starts with networking. It's how all your resources communicate with each other and the internet. Imagine we have an e-commerce website. Our users need a way to find your application. That's where Route 53 comes in, AWS's DNS service. When you type a domain name into your browser, DNS translates that into an IP address that computers understand. Route 53 handles this translation process, and then it will route users to a different endpoints based on their geographic location if configured to do so. Essentially, it will route you to the closest endpoint to avoid latency and slow loading times. And what happens when traffic spikes and 100,000 users are trying to access your application? That's where ELB comes in, Elastic Load Balancer, a fully managed AWS service. This basically means it's hands-off for you and AWS handles it completely. And what ELB does is it distributes traffic efficiently across your servers. And AWS offers different types like Application Load Balancer, ALB for web traffic, and Network Load Balancer, NLB for ultra high performance. But the concept here remains exactly the same. If all of the traffic went to a single server, that server could become overwhelmed, causing your application to slow down or crash. Now, the ELB actually sits inside of our next AWS service, VPC. VPC is your own isolated section of AWS Cloud. AWS operates globally across multiple regions like US East, Europe, Asia Pacific, with each region containing multiple availability zones, essentially separate data centers. Your VPC exists within a region and can span across multiple availability zones for high availability. And this means if one data center has issues, your application keeps running in another zone. Within your VPC, you organize your network using subnets. Subnets are logical subdivisions of your VPC, and each subnet has its own range of IP addresses and routing rules. Here you've got public subnets for resources that need internet access, and your ELB will sit in the public subnet as it needs internet access because that's where the traffic is coming from. And then we've got private subnets for resources that should be protected from the internet, like databases. And understanding these networking concepts is crucial, as these form the foundation for everything that we build on top of. Now, before we move on to compute services, I'd like to introduce you to Gamma, which I've recently discovered that will help you prepare for your job interviews. Now, you know when you're applying for jobs, and then you reach a technical interview, which often includes these take-home assignments where you have to create a presentation, maybe explaining concepts like VPC networking that we've just covered. And you simply don't have 3 to 4 hours of time to build out a presentation from scratch. Well, with Gamma, you can create an entire presentation on AWS networking with just one single prompt. You see, Gamma's beginner-friendly AI means that even if you have no design skills, you can get great results in just a few minutes. And if that wasn't enough, the AI performance recently underwent major upgrades. You simply prompt exactly what you're looking for, and the AI does all of the heavy lifting by organizing the key concepts, creating diagrams, and even adding talking points. And what's impressive about Gamma is that you can edit these visuals with just one click. You can change components or adjust the style, and when you're happy with the presentation, you can export it directly to PowerPoint or PDF for your technical interviews, or if you would like, you can even just present it right from Gamma with a shareable link. If you want to try Gamma for yourself, check out the link in the description, and thank you Gamma for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to our AWS journey and talk about compute services, because once you've got your network set up, you need something to run on it. Now, AWS offers 3 main services for compute, starting with EC2, which gives you virtual computers running in AWS data centers. These EC2 instances launch directly into the VPC and subnets that you've just configured, typically placing web servers in public subnets and application servers or databases in private subnets. Think of EC2s as computers that you control completely, just without the physical hardware. You decide how powerful they should be, what operating system they should run, and what software gets installed. The main advantage of EC2 is control. You make all of the decisions about your environment, which makes EC2 perfect when you need specific setups or when you're moving existing applications to the cloud without changing them. Of course, with this control comes responsibility. And just like a regular computer, you need to manage updates, security, and maintenance. While EC2 gives you entire virtual computers, ECS takes a different approach by using containers. These containers are like sealed packages that includes everything, your application and everything it needs to run on it. The magic of containers is consistency. Your application runs exactly the same way in development, testing, and production because it carries its environment with it. So all you have to do is define how your application should run, and AWS handles the details of where and how the containers are deployed. And this makes ECS ideal for application built as multiple small independent services working together. We call this microservice-based architectures. Now, of course, you can also just deploy your application, but ECS is like the middle ground as it gives you less direct control than EC2, but makes deployment simpler and more consistent while reducing how much infrastructure that you need to manage yourself. Now, to take this simplicity even further, going serverless with AWS Lambda. With Lambda, you simply upload your code and it runs when triggered. Your code might activate when someone uploads a file, clicks a button, or when a scheduled time arrives. After completing its task, it shuts down until it's needed again. The beauty of Lambda is that you only pay for the milliseconds that your code actually runs. There is no charge when it's inactive, making it extremely cost-effective for small tasks. This serverless approach works perfectly for event-based processing, simple APIs, and background tasks that don't need to run continuously. Now, the trade-off is that Lambda has limits on execution time and memory, so it's not suitable for long-running applications or services that need to run continuously. Okay, now that we can run applications, we need places to store data. AWS offers several storage options for different needs, starting with S3, which is AWS' solution for storing files in the cloud. S3 organizes your files into buckets. Think of these as top-level folders or containers for your data. Now, unlike traditional hard drives that have space limitations, S3 can store virtually unlimited amounts of data in these buckets. You can keep anything from small documents to massive video files to website assets and application backups. Now, what makes S3 so special is its incredible durability. AWS guarantees 99.119 of durability. Now, in short, you can expect to lose one file every 10,000 years if you store it in S3 buckets, so it's pretty reliable. Now, CloudFront works hand in hand with S3 to deliver your content faster. It's a content delivery network, a CDN, a global network of servers that cache copies of your files closer to your users. So when someone in Tokyo tries to access your content, they get it from a nearby server in Asia instead of waiting it to travel from North America. This dramatically speeds up load times for websites, videos, and applications used by people around the world. Together, S3 and CloudFront provide a complete solution for storing files reliably and then delivering them quickly to users anywhere around the world. Now, when your application needs to store structured data with complex relationships, you will likely want a relational database. Rather than setting up and maintaining a database server yourself, RDS, which is Relational Database Service, handles this for you. RDS supports familiar database engines like MySQL, Postgres, and SQL Server. The key advantage is that AWS manages the heavy lifting. They handle the backups and the software updates, meaning that you can focus on your application and not database administration. That said, while relational databases excel at structured data, they do struggle with massive scale or rapidly changing data structures. And this is where DynamoDB, AWS's NoSQL database service, shines. DynamoDB uses a key value and document data model. Think of it like a giant spreadsheet where you can look up data using a unique key, like a username or product ID. And then each key can store either a simple value or complex information. DynamoDB is perfect for mobile applications or gaming leaderboards because you need speed, scale, and flexibility for it. And unlike traditional databases, you don't need to plan capacity in advance. It automatically scales up and down to match your application's needs. Now that we understand how to build our network, run our applications and store our data, we need to talk about keeping everything safe. Security is perhaps the most critical aspect of cloud computing, but also, ironically, is the most overlooked. It's still seen as something that we bolt on at the end instead of securing everything from the ground up. And when you use AWS, security becomes a partnership between you and AWS directly, which means security is a shared responsibility between you and AWS. So AWS secures the physical infrastructure, the data center, the networks, the hardware, while you are responsible for securing what you build and store in the cloud. So understanding this shared model is essential for protecting your applications and your data. Now you need to know about IAM, Identity Access Management, as well, because it forms the backbone of AWS security. IAM answers two fundamental questions: who can access your resources and what exactly are they allowed to do? With IAM, you create identities for everyone who needs access to your AWS environment. This includes users, which are individual people like me and you who need AWS access, groups, which are collections of users with similar permissions, roles, which provide temporary access for services or applications, and policies, which are documents that define specific permissions. Now, each identity gets specific permissions that determine what actions that they can perform. These permissions work through policies, which are documents that spell out exactly what someone can do and cannot do. For example, you might allow developers to deploy applications but not modify databases, or let monitoring systems read logs but not change those configurations. IAM follows the principle of least privilege, giving people only the permissions that they absolutely need to do their jobs and nothing more. This minimizes the risk by limiting what damage could happen from compromised credentials or internal mistakes. Setting up IAM correctly from the beginning establishes a secure foundation for everything else that you build on AWS. While IAM controls access, AWS CloudTrail watches and records all your activity taking place in the AWS account. It creates a detailed history of every action, who did what, when they did it, and from where. CloudTrail works silently in the background, continuously recording this digital trail of activity. Now, the logs that it generates become invaluable when you need to understand the past actions or potentially investigate security concerns. Now, together, IAM and CloudTrail create a powerful security foundation. IAM establishes who can do what, while CloudTrail verifies that everyone is playing by the rules. But that's not all. In 2025, you need to learn AI as it's becoming essential across all industries and domains. And AWS has made it very accessible with two key services, starting with Amazon SageMaker, which simplifies the complex process of developing machine learning models. It provides all the tools needed in one place, from preparing data to building and training models to deploying them in production. SageMaker handles the complicated infrastructure so you can focus on solving actual business problems. The platform manages all the servers, scaling, and optimization that would normally require significant expertise. Now, while SageMaker will help you build custom AI models, AWS Bedrock takes a different approach by giving you access to powerful pre-built foundational AI models like Claude for a simple interface. So if you're creating a customer service portal, you can quickly add an AI assistant that answers questions, summarizes information, or generates responses without having to build or train these capabilities yourself. The advantage of using Bedrock over going directly to individual AI providers are significant. Bedrock integrates smoothly with your existing AWS services and data. You can customize these models with your company's specific information like product details or support documentation. You also get enterprise-level security controls, and you can access multiple AI models through a simple interface. And as AI continues to transform how businesses operate, having expertise in these AWS AI services will make you specifically valuable in today's job market. And there is one more AWS service that you need to master if you want permanent job security, and that's infrastructure as code with CloudFormation or the CDK. CloudFormation lets you define your entire AWS infrastructure using code instead of clicking around the console. What you do is you create templates in YAML, for example, that describe all the AWS resources that you want, how they should be configured, and how they connect to each other. So instead of spending hours manually clicking on the AWS console, which isn't how resources are actually built in the real world, you can deploy complex environments consistently with a single command. Now, let's see exactly how all of these AWS services connect together using a real-world online e-commerce store as our example. When someone types your website address in their browser, Route 53, AWS's DNS system, points them directly to your store. CloudFront helps deliver your store pages and images quickly by keeping copies to your customers, no matter where they are in the world. Then we have the Elastic Load Balancer, which makes sure customers' visits are spread across multiple servers, so your website stays up even during busy shopping times. Your actual store can run on EC2, virtual computers in the cloud, that are kept in private protected areas in your VPC, your private network, but run in the subnets. You protect your details and customer information, which are saved in RDS, our traditional database, while your product pictures are stored in S3, which is our super reliable file storage system. Now, when a customer buys something, small pieces of code called Lambda functions can handle tasks like processing their payment, sending confirmation emails, or updating how many items are left in stock. DynamoDB keeps track of the inventory numbers that need to be updated instantly when customers make purchases. SageMaker will help create recommendations such as your specific shopping taste. For example, it can recommend you something that other people also liked. Bedrock powers your store's chatbot without you needing to build any sort of AI technology yourself. CloudFormation lets you set up this entire system with lines of code instead of manually clicking this on the AWS console. IAM will make sure only the right people and systems can access different parts of your stores. CloudTrail keeps a record of all the activities so you can see who did what and when. And when you grasp how all of these AWS services connect together, you can build almost anything in the cloud. So don't focus on learning just what each AWS service does, but why you choose one service over another for specific use cases. That said, mastering the key AWS services isn't just enough to become a cloud engineer. So you can click right here for my complete cloud engineer roadmap for 2024.